Oh.
All right, and welcome to another artist roundup.
Oh.
It wasn't me to hit the go live button. Good.
Right.
I hate responsibility.
That's all right.
It'd be worse. No. It could be worse. You could have hit the end stream button.
Wouldn't be the first time that's happened.
Well, look, the other day on RSVP, I was trying to hit it to where we would, get out the, in the stream, and I ended up leaving I was going to leave the studio instead.
No, which does not end the stream.
It's like, no, I'm leaving the studio. Anyway, welcome everybody to Sketchy Saturday. I'm Michael Lenning, independent artist who's done work for Haslam Productions and other various venues, Arrow Comics and so on, as well as various shows that keep seeming to show up here on ICN. We're going to go around the room. Everybody introduce yourself. Tell us what you're working on. And we're just going to get right into it. Daphne.
What? Oh, excuse me. I'm so big on the screen. I say hello, everyone. My name's Daphne Lage. I'm a cartoonist from New York, and I am known for my 2 series, the Furry Fantasy Tall Tales, which is currently on Kickstarter right now. Link is in the chat and the show notes. And I am known for Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter early summer with Volume 2, which collects issues 5 through 8. And right now, I guess today is going to be there's going to be a running theme here because I recognize the piece that C was working on, and this is the piece that I'm going to be working on. And I guess both our pieces of artwork is from Chad Perkins. Was Set the Hook?
No, I'm doing a Tank Girl.
Oh, you're doing Tank Girl. Oh, okay. Because I just saw the. Okay, so never mind then. I don't know what I'm talking about at all.
No, I already did it. I did a cover for Set the Hook that Nita posted today. So
right. So yeah. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to be inking his variant, my variant cover for Set the Hook for Chad Perkins. So yeah. So I guess I might as well get started.
Hey everybody, I'm Allison, the Alley Cat McGlone. I'm here drawing stuff. This is the piece I did yesterday on my stream. I did the Ghoul and Dogmeat, Cooper from the Fallout series. Finished up pencils on that, but today I'm going to be working on my Broken Shackles comic that's going to be coming out on swordandsorcerymagazine.com. Or is it .net? I don't honestly remember. That's probably bad of me. But I'll have more information when it actually goes live. Go ahead.
All right.
So this will be the stuff I'm working on. Got a few pages done. The page I'm going to be working on features massive amounts of bloodshed because, blood stored in the body at 2,000 psi at least.
Hey, then nothing better for a Saturday morning. Oh, look who's here!
Oh, hi! Nick Tucker, freelance author, artist, swordmaster, game designer, and retired paranormal consultant. Please don't call me when something goes bump in the night. There are other people. I'm going to be working on some incidental art for an upcoming RPG using a system I designed a while ago. It should have been out, but you do the work and then you see who publishes it when. So. Well, it looks like it's going to be random fantasy art night, so I'm kind of chilling with that. And I say night because it's always night, isn't it? I mean,
night somewhere.
So I've been trying to expand my horizons, and
no,
because I hate drawing in pen. But I've been lately just drawing in pen to kind of train myself to lay down better lines and to think more about what I'm putting down.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, well, the problem comes in though. Like yesterday, I'm in the doctor's office. My mother had some tests run, and so I'm there for like 2 hours. Of course, my pen ran out of ink.
Oh
Like,
no!
just sitting there sketching. So have you guys tried anything that kind of goes against your grain on how you do art, just to try to expand your horizons? Or
I mean, honestly, it's like learning Clip Studio Paint seems to be the thing for me right now.
Oh God, don't get me going.
Yeah, it's it's like I'm still, I think that I've pretty much gotten the hang of inking in Clip Studio. Like I really do think that the artwork looks like my stuff in pen and ink. It's just that I just have to learn the rest of Clip Studio Paint. I have yet to color in Clip Studio.
Really?
So yeah, I have. Yeah, because it's just so much faster for me to do it in Photoshop because I know that already. I mean, I know that it's silly to use two similar programs, just but but yeah, it's like the learning curve. It always takes me a little bit to go over that learning curve. So, but eventually I'll learn how to color in Clip Studio.
Well, I will definitely happily say that you have not driven me to want to rip my eyes out. So,
well,
that puts past some I've seen lately.
That's always a good thing. Yeah.
Oh no, I was such a pain in the ass with Allison trying to figure out Clip Studio.
Oh
yeah, when I was trying to help Daphne learn the ins and outs of Clip Studio,
it was just a lot of wait, what, where, who's left, what left, where, what button.
My brain cells weren't so much as dying, but committing suicide.
Okay, yeah. Well, we got over it. We got through it.
I'm still not too sure.
Look, I've been working on Clip Studio for golly years now, 4 or 5 years maybe.
I've been doing it since like version 3 or 4. So yeah.
But back when it was like Manga Studio.
Yep.
I mean, so, but yeah, I still don't know everything. It still amazes me when somebody pulls out some type of artwork and it's just, what did you do that in Clip Studio? How?
Right.
Oh, there's definitely some stuff in there even I don't know how to freaking do in there.
Yeah.
And I probably never will, but
well, that's the funny thing with learning these programs, because like it's not like they come with well, they technically do come with instruction manuals, but nobody reads them. It's like you literally learn the things that you need to learn how to do it.
Well, I remember it used to come. It didn't come with but you used to buy like the digital how-to book of like
like Clip Studio for Dummies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it weren't for their YouTube channel, I'd be lost. I mean,
oh, me too.
I'm telling you.
Me too. Yeah. God bless everybody who records all their minutia and uploads it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you.
I used to basically be solidly only a digital artist for quite a while, but I've been finding I enjoy doing my pencils traditionally. Like I rough everything out digitally, and then I print out my blue lines, and then I kind of go over and do my pencils from there.
Yeah. That's I think I used to, because it's like that's how I transitioned to Clip Studio, because I was still doing my pencils in traditionally and then scanning them in. But that was something that I got used to, that when I got used to drawing directly into Clip Studio, that was like, just like with the inking, that's a game changer too for me. Like being able to do everything so much faster because it's all in one space. And it's not multiple steps. Like I don't like I'm still just like I'm on the last like 5 pages of Eager Raven issue 12, and I don't think I would have gotten this far in the amount of time that I have and that I've already been through. What? Wait, what? Oh, my English. What happened? I wouldn't have done
Saturday morning.
Englishing is hard. Yeah. I wouldn't have done as much work if I had to do the entire thing traditionally. Honestly, I think that I would have been like still like a couple of issues behind. But because everything's in Clip Studio, whenever I need to use reference, I could just toss it in, and just work on it. Like if I need to adjust anything, I could just adjust it right there. Like I don't need to stop. Right. So yeah. So it's just been a lot easier for me to, I mean, I still like, like drawing traditionally when I can, but I guess when it comes to work, I can understand why a lot of people prefer working digitally, because it is a lot faster and a lot more versatile.
Oh yeah, I'll never say it's not faster, because I'll definitely admit that it's definitely faster when I'm doing it digitally. There's just so many sweeping things I can do with the program and everything. I just want to have some stuff to sell too, so
right.
And I really like the feeling of pencil on paper. So
that's for sure. That's for sure.
I mean, will this eventually go to being probably mostly done all digitally? Yeah, most likely. As soon as I basically start to fall behind. So
I'm still getting that vibe because it never feels right. I've tried different screens, different pens. At the end, the line work doesn't feel right. So a lot of times I like to do the pencil, scan it, and then do all the inking and stuff in CSP.
Right.
But do you find that the process you go through when you draw in CSP or digital, whatever you're using, has changed the way you approach traditional?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. The other day, as much as we joke about this, the other day I was drawing in my sketchbook and I found myself pinching the paper.
Thank God I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
But conversely, I've also been working on my screen and then went looking for my eraser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that too. I've also, when working on my traditionally, went looking for the undo button. So
yeah.
It's funny what you miss,
Yeah.
When you transition between.
Also, it's like what I've noticed too is that, actually this is more to my detriment, where because I've gotten very quickly used to being able to fix mistakes really quickly in CSP, I have to readjust my thinking when I'm on paper. It's kind of like what C said about drawing with a ballpoint pen. You have to be more conscious about the lines you put down.
Yeah.
Because you can't just select it and enlarge or shrink a section if you draw it wrong.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's made me a little bit more self-conscious actually traditionally drawing, because to fix something is a little bit more intensive in real life than it is in Clip Studio.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, that's why I also have whiteout galore.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not afraid to use it.
Yeah. Oh, that's for sure. Yeah.
That's one thing I have not gotten into yet, and I keep wanting to, but I'm nervous, is inking with a not a quill, well, like a quill pen. The quill. It's basically I don't know.
I guess that's just a preference.
Well, I got my Series 7 Winsor Newton right here. Actually, I got two of them actually.
Well, I really like the way brush looks, but I've never been a painter, so I can only imagine how bad that's going to come out.
You do it completely differently than painting too, so
right, yeah.
You gotta really choke up
thing.
on the brush when you're inking. At least I do. When I paint, I have much more of a looser grip.
Well, yeah, because if you're inking with a brush, it really requires a still hand. You can't be as loose
Yep.
unless you're Bill Sienkiewicz or something. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was watching Bernie Wrightson draw yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and oh my god, it was so weird. He was doing it like with two fingers, like doing it kind of like this or something.
Right. Oh.
And I was just like, how is that working so well?
Well, muscle memory.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like it's so weird.
The two-hand approach.
Yeah,
He might be fighting tremors.
he could be. I mean, this
Because
wasn't.
I had to do that sort of stuff when I was doing the occupational therapy for my what do you call it? Carpal tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, this was back in 2008. Was this video? So I mean, he could have been fighting a lot of things. I don't know.
That's true too.
His stuff was just gorgeous. So
Well, you look at Eric Larson. Eric Larson has a weird way.
No, he has. Yeah, it's like he like,
has the art school way of drawing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like he tucks his pencil in like that, and he draws like a velociraptor.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
That's a good way to put it.
When I was in school, I was told to hold the pencil kind of like this and go. And I know Tim Vigil kind of draws like that too, but I always just flip back to being like, no, I'm drawing like this. So,
It's supposed to give you more control,
oh yeah,
but
I don't buy that.
how much? Yeah, how much do I have to do to get more control?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it for what you're trying to do because you're forced to use your whole arm when drawing. But I'm lazy, so.
Well, I mean, although technically, yeah, it's like that technically is the correct way. You're supposed to use your whole arm. I mean, it's like I remember reading like the reason why we end up with problems with our wrists and our hands is because we focus all the movement there as opposed to using the entire arm.
Yep.
But still, though, I don't.
Damn biology.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get me going. I won't
See,
stop.
I'm so used to like using notebooks this big when I'm traveling around.
Oh,
And,
right.
You know, the hidden artist leave me alone like
Right.
Gollum method, where you're like, let's just go.
Right.
You know?
You know who was a master of that, though? You know who was the king, gremlin drawing in the pocket? Al Hirschfeld.
Really?
Al Hirschfeld, when because you couldn't draw in the theater, and he had to do all these caricatures based on the actors on stage. So he had a notebook in his pocket with his pencil, and he would draw that way. He would just be looking at the stage, and then he would be sketching in his pocket.
Huh. That's pretty cool. I had no idea.
That's crazy.
Oh, we got a hello from Mike DeFont.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
So do not fear goblin mode.
That's like some of my best stuff. I it's like, where did that come from? 3x5 cards. Leave me alone.
Right? Yeah. Oh no! Yeah, I have
cards.
plenty of like little sketches. They're tiny sketches. I think some of my favorite ones are like they're like just about an inch. Like just I don't know. It's just like complete vibes.
If you could fit everything on a Post-it note,
Yeah, it's
Hi,
no,
Joe.
I completely
Morning,
feel
Joe.
that. Yeah.
Joe
Hey,
Pop-
Joe.
Joe runs the independent creator. Actually, folks like you guys hosted so that it becomes like a white pages for artists and authors and stuff. So
Oh,
instead of having to navigate around 50,000 different web pages and stuff, and who's doing what on Twitter, you can just go here, say I'm looking for an artist, and it brings up a bunch of.
That's really convenient. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really handy. I might have to get involved in that.
It is about it's $40 once, but he's doing it as a lifetime thing, and that's just so he can sort of
Fund it?
Oh, the maintenance costs. Yeah.
he does all the maintenance himself right now. He's just taking care of everything, and it's a good program because he's getting people to through this. A lot of people are making the jump that I know who are like way too good but won't. Well, I'm not good enough to put my stuff out there, and then I have to throw or shoot them with Nerf darts until they submit. You know,
Damn, imposter syndrome.
absolutely.
Yeah, I know that. I know that pain.
But yeah, it's a great program. IndieCD.org. I'm supposed to give my affiliate link, but I always forget to.
Oh.
Ah,
Yes.
Oh, there
podcast
we go.
is still working. Yes, podcast
Podcast
one is
is-
still working, so you can get it for $20.
ooh.
Cool.
Joe, you're promoting.
There you go. Yes. Friends promote friends. Isn't that what
Brian
Brian K. Morris
Morris.
says?
Yep.
Friends always promote friends.
Absolutely.
Something like that. As long as it's not friend zone, set friends on fire, we're good.
Oh no, yeah, you don't want to set your friends on fire.
No, that's usually not a good thing.
No.
Usually, no. It
Usually
depends.
no.
If they're daredevils and that's the kind of thing they do, or stuntmen,
Or it's the 4th of July.
or it's the 4th of July.
It might be accidental. It might not
Well,
be.
you would
It might be accidental.
It might not be. Who knows?
Pardon? Well, see, that was an accidental Molotov. I wasn't trying.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's
No, Your Honor, I slipped throwing that Molotov cocktail.
Joe says I only try to do that on Wednesday nights during my stream, but then it is just me trying to set myself on fires.
Oh no.
It sounds like a lot of YouTube likes though.
Is
Million
that
views.
Tina smell?
Maybe that's a TikTok thing. I don't know.
Anything for the content.
Oh, that's yeah.
One thing that about digital is trying it people don't seem to understand is it's almost like trying to learn how to draw all over again.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
On glass.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
Literally.
but the thing is though, it really does depend on the program because I don't know, like I could never get the hang of it in Photoshop. Like the brushes never work the same way. They
Yeah.
never worked. I mean, I don't know. I could never. That's why I never like. It took me this long, but then it's like once I started using Clip Studio, it was a little difficult in the beginning. But then once I found that particular felt pen tip that looked exactly like my Rapidographs and even acted like my Rapidographs, it's super easy
Can you
to just
send me
transfer.
that tip?
I mean, it's in Clip Studio. It's a
Oh,
default.
you're talking. It's one of the default brushes. Okay, I
Yeah,
thought
it's
you
one
had a
of the-
tip on your stylus.
No, it's on the default.
Okay.
It's a default brush, and and even like the sizes are the same. So I use them exactly the way I use my Rapidographs.
Oh, that works.
And then it was like smooth sailing from there. So I guess Photoshop is not really conducive to that, but it was like Clip Studio was made for that.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Photoshop wasn't really designed as a program for drawing.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, at its core, it's still not. I mean, can you use it for drawing? Oh, yeah. And I did so for years.
Right, but that's not, and I think that's the reason why like Adobe is not really interested in implementing a lot of stuff that Clip Studio does in Photoshop, because in the end, that's not what the program is.
Yeah, it's not their gig.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, they'll probably put out their own variation sooner rather than later. So,
You know what? I don't think that they're really that interested, to tell you the
right
truth.
now they're not. But
You know,
I'm
I
just
think-
thinking everything always leads to the Adobe suite. It seems.
Yeah.
it could be called Adobe AI, but we're not going to.
Yeah. Right now, that's what they're kind of like pushing. So
Oh,
I don't
yeah, they
think
are.
they're really interested.
Well, they can keep pushing all they want.
Well,
I mean,
every company is now. It's like Microsoft. It's like Microsoft and Facebook, and like Facebook is trying to get everybody to use their stupid Meta AI thing, and nobody wants it.
No, seen so much hate. I didn't even know what the thing was at first. I've seen the hate for it before I saw what it was.
Yeah, but, it's like, look, it's like, if the paperclip was always there bothering you.
yes, it's all Clippy's revenge. I
Yes,
think,
it is. It is.
In about 20 years, when the robots have mostly, taken over because idiots have bought the robot dogs with flamethrowers and all that.
Oh, what could possibly go wrong?
saw that,
Selling
yeah.
military equipment to civilians.
For 10 grand, I mean, shoot, that definitely went pretty high on my, hey, that wouldn't be a bad thing to have if I won the
well, I
lotto.
mean-
Well, have you ever seen that? I don't remember. It's like
I have
a
some cartoons.
meme or somebody made the joke about it, right? Civilians are all like, ooh, ah, over military grade equipment. But people who are actually in the military are like, oh, crap, this is going to be garbage. So they know the military ain't spending that much on anything
Right,
good.
yeah,
Well, it's the low. It's all goes to the lowest bidder at the end of the day. So
Yeah, typically.
You always hear that, oh, it's military grade in the movies and stuff. And it's like, that might not mean anything.
I mean,
Oh,
I don't understand.
I don't think it means what you think it does.
I really don't understand why they had to show up in my place when they said I was making military grade plutonium. It's not like I was going to do anything bad with it. I just wanted to.
But it
Right,
probably wasn't
exactly.
going to work the first time anyway. So.
Uh-huh.
And to the alphabet agencies watching this is something called a joke. I know you weren't issued
Oh, yeah,
a
that's
sense of
true.
humor,
That's true.
but
Yes.
everything
Everybody-
said here is for humor's sake.
Everyone talk to their personal NSA
Wait,
agents.
we're
Hey.
supposed,
Their
that's supposed to be
cameras.
humor?
Every
Homeland
year on
Security.
Oh, sorry. I'll refrain from that for now.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Every year on Christmas Eve, I pick up when I go visit my parents, I pick up their phone because they still have a landline, and I wait for the click, and I go, "Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you're warm in the van." And I literally do this every year that I hang up the phone,
Oh, God. They don't have to be in the van anymore.
Oh, I know.
I haven't needed to be for years.
I almost feel bad about that because, at least in the van, they could get, coffee and they were out of the shop for a while, but now they're all hunched over their computers. Guys, just like the artists, you analyst types need to remember to straighten your back once in a while.
Right. Stretch your wrists.
And I have to admit, I'm having problems with the people using shrimping for a pose
Oh.
description.
I learned about shrimping the other day. I didn't know what that meant.
It's one of those where language is migrating a bit, and I had a much more problematic. I'd rather have Clippy back.
I'd rather have Clippy back than deal with all these annoying AIs. Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. When I used to work tech support, like one of the first places I worked at, and I had to install Microsoft Office on everybody's computers and all that, I always enabled Clippy to annoy them.
Wow.
I liked Clippy.
Well, I had the cat on my office. Sweet. I didn't have it do anything, but it just sat there.
It was a digital companion. I get it. I was the same way. That's one thing I miss. The old Windows were actually so much easier to personalize than the new systems.
Yeah, they don't really want you doing that anymore. Remember when we had to learn HTML ourselves
Oh,
to
yeah.
be able to personalize a website?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, learning
That was
coding.
fun, though. I mean, that was all that coding and everything. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the ass, sure, but it was a little creative. You just kind of like, I can't remember.
Oh, God. I can
If
hear
you
my
ever-
professors in my head right now. It's not coding, it's scripting. Like,
Well,
Whatever.
right. But you know what? It's like nothing impresses most people now that it's like, hold on, I'm coding, and then you type in the most basic HTML.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my god, you're
It's
hacking the
magic.
system.
Yeah, right.
When all you did was just make a word bold.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not like the advanced coding I learned as a kid. Basic on my Commodore. Not Commodore. I didn't have a Commodore. I had a Tandy Color Computer 3. The Radio Shack bootleg Commodore.
Oh
Yeah, the
no.
Commodore.
Writing code to make Tommy the Turtle, the little triangle, go so far and then turn and then go back.
Oh god, I remember doing that crap.
Oh yeah, those were the days, though.
I remember drawing with like Apple Paint or something too on like the my Apple II.
Oh yeah, I think I had a class for that. Like it could only do grayscale.
Well, this one could do color.
Right.
When it was on the Mac, it could only do grayscale because the first Macs didn't have color monitors for some reason.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't quite understand that to this day, but it is what it is.
Uh-huh.
Joe says, my favorite bit of code from back in the day was a piece of JavaScript that you could attach to the button that said, click here for a free coffee cup holder.
It opened your CD-ROM. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, that takes me back.
Did people really do that, or is it just a stupid joke that just got passed around? I just have a hard time believing somebody thought that was a coffee cup holder.
It's something
Never
that
underestimate
happened once.
Oh.
Never underestimate the stupidity of tired people, because I saw things.
Oh no!
I saw that happen on campus where it was, it's 2 a.m. and you're not, the computer lab's not supposed to be open.
Right.
Or someone who shall remain nameless may have picked the lock on the door for the 25th time to, let people have access. And you got somebody with a Mountain Dew sitting on the CD drive going,
oh no!
Yeah, I've seen some stupid crap from working IT, so I can definitely say that I can believe the coffee cup holder thing happened at least once.
And then it just became legend.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean,
Right.
it's like, myth became legend. So.
Sound like you were starting for the opening of like Hercules or something. God, not
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Or legend became myth or whatever it was. Yeah, I think it was legend became myth. It's been a while since I've watched Fellowship with that opening.
Yeah.
Narrated by Kate Blanchett. Is that the one who played Galadriel?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, those movies came out like 20 years ago.
And they're still rocking it. Like it's like the CGI, you know what? It's even like the degrading CGI is just more charming as it goes along. They
used a lot of practical effects with it,
right?
Too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they had The Hobbit, and I don't know what they did.
Well, they frustrated Guillermo del Toro off the project. That's what they did.
Yep,
that was the problem.
That was definitely a major problem.
Well, his aesthetic, to be completely honest with you, his aesthetic didn't fit that world anyway.
Well,
I was so looking forward to seeing Clockwork Hobbits.
I was looking forward. I was looking forward to that. You know, I mean, I think that I just to see something different, you know. And instead,
well, I mean, that's basically what the goblins were. Were Del Toro esque goblins.
I don't think to the extent.
I didn't really get that feeling.
Yeah,
really?
no, because I think that
it was very Hellboy 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Right, but I think what happened though is that they went like overboard. You see, that's the difference between an artist doing something and a studio demanding something.
Yeah, I would agree with that because it was definitely Del Toro would have held back.
Yeah.
So
You know, and instead, like everybody got like super carried away for a scene that it's just way too long. It's like, yeah,
That was the character that basically had his balls hanging from his chin, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
He had a scroty. Yeah.
yes. You know, like it just got to a point where everybody was like they were in competition to see like how gross they could make the scene. And it was just like, have you tried just telling the story and like worrying about that? But again, it's like the studio interference, you know, it's like, oh, we need it bigger and better, and you know, we need it.
Oh, Peter
you know.
Jackson looked like he was.
Oh, he didn't want to do it.
in that movie.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
He
no,
didn't want to do it at all. You know, that was
I
the
don't
whole
blame him. I don't
point
like to
of
read The
getting
Hobbit either,
Guillermo. But I mean, no, look, you just watch the Rankin and Bass version and you pretty much get everything done in 45 minutes.
Oh yes, give me that sweet rotoscope.
Yes,
goodness.
exactly.
Well, no, with the Hobbit, however, the Hobbit's not rotoscoped. We have to. But
No, that was the Ralph
That
Bakshi.
was the Bakshi's. Which I do enjoy in
No, I
a
have a
very,
soft
it
it's
has
very,
its own unique thing. Yeah,
yes,
I don't
it has
think
its own charm to it.
I don't think it was
appreciated.
it was underappreciated in its time.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm still haunted by Smog's flashlight eyes. Like as
Right.
a kid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I thought that was great.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, and what's funny was that, like, people were complaining. This is the Rankin and Bass version. The people were complaining that there was a particular sound effect that got edited out, and people were mad that it was missing. And it was when it's the scene with the spiders when I guess Samwise uses Sting on. And there's this sound that they used when the spiders were dying.
Yeah,
And
it's that
people were
swirly
mad.
sound.
Yeah, that swirl. Yeah, it's a very swirly sound, right?
Yeah.
And people got mad when that sound wasn't in, I guess, like some kind of latest like re-release of.
Was this Return of the King?
No,
Yeah,
this was. This was the
The
Hobbit.
the Hobbit wouldn't have been Samwise, it would have been Bilbo. But yeah, when he's in
was it
Mirkwood, right?
okay? It was. When he
Oh
was
right,
in
yeah. No.
Yeah.
That is right. Yeah, because it's yeah, I guess when
No,
he
but
was
okay, I know
it
what
would
you're
be the
talking about
Hobbit,
then.
then it would be
Apricot.
Bilbo. Yeah.
All these, I guess being called an apricot is a diss. I'm not
You know.
sure.
What?
You know, where it's like
That's
that's
what
where
he
it's
says.
like
Yeah,
Sting,
when
Sting.
he's killing the
You know?
Oh, right.
killing the spiders. Yeah.
I shall call you Sting.
Yeah. So it would be Bilbo then. But I think they used the same sound. I don't know. I would have to watch it again.
I haven't
See,
watched.
no, there
Return of
is
the King
something
in, like,
that's
forever,
missing.
So.
Yeah.
I remember there was something missing, like a or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I haven't watched The Hobbit in forever, so or Return of the King. Although
Right.
Return of the King has one of my favorite sequences in it, which is Samwise's temptation of the ring by the ring.
Yeah.
Let there be green.
It's which to tell you the truth, it's like I was waiting for that in the Peter Jackson version. Like I was surprised they didn't do
Yeah,
Got into
that.
where being
Carried
all
a
the
ring.
garden and everything,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the gardener of the world.
Right.
Is it
Yeah. Well, it's like how the ring tries to use yourself against you.
Yeah.
And Sam was and the fact that Sam was able to resist.
Yeah, Sam was the strongest of the ring bearers, I think.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Frodo
What
carried
is
it
it?
for so
It's
long.
like what did he call it? You know, good old Hobbit sense.
Yep.
So
For years, my screensaver was a picture of Sam, and it just said "Hobbits saving the whole motherfucking world since 1954." You know, It just
Yep.
Well, that's the thing about that. Sam was always my favorite. I did not like the way. I will say this: I did not like the way that Bakshi did Sam. I didn't. It was too all shucks for me.
oh
okay. I can see. Where
Oh
you're
yes, sir, Mr. Frodo, sir. And it's like,
Right, a little too.
On the nose.
I don't know.
I felt like
No,
it
I
was
didn't
in his
really like the
characterization. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like his characterization of him either because I thought he was. I always thought Sam was just humble.
Mhm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
But there,
sorry.
That's okay.
no, that's okay.
Oh, I
I was
gotta-
going to say, it's got to be hard to do Lord of the Rings, quote unquote, right, because people want it to be about Frodo. And, the popular, I don't know what Lord of the Rings is about, but it's about like Frodo and Bilbo, they're the main
Right.
characters. And having Sam be like Bilbo without the emo,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess because I've never read the books. I only know the story culturally.
Right.
So it's like
Oh, you did
whatever these movies did, like that's
Yeah.
the extent of what I know about these stories.
I would recommend reading them at least once. They're worth it.
I'll put it this way. I've tried reading The Hobbit 3 times now, and I can't get through The Hobbit. It doesn't
Well, The
matter. I
Hobbit-
can't get through it.
The Hobbit's my favorite book.
I can't. But I have read Lord of the Rings twice, so if that says anything, and there's like, what, a 10, 20
Usually
year
I hear
difference
it
between the two?
The other way around. I find that fascinating.
Yeah, really. Well, I think he started condensing more in the in Lord of the Rings than he did The Hobbit. Now, don't hold me to that, but I
Well,
think
The
that's
Hobbit
why-
was also written for a different audience. It was written for children.
Right. Yeah.
Lord of the Rings was not.
No, it was kind of written for the grown-up audience who grew up
Read The
with The
Hobbit.
Hobbit. Yeah.
And then he started retconning the Hobbit once he realized what he wanted to do in Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, because originally the elves of Mirkwood weren't elves; they were gnomes.
And also in the original version, Gollum just shows, he loses the bet, and then he just shows Bilbo out the caverns. It's like, oh, there you go, there's the exit, goodbye.
Yeah, he changed.
It's like that's it, That
Yeah,
like the
he had-
ring was just a ring,
Yep, it was a ring that turned you invisible. It didn't do anything else.
right?
Yeah. I think it's kind of like we'll be talking on Sunday Funnies tomorrow because we've already filmed it, but kind of like Wizard of Oz, where it had such a following and people wanted more because the Baum didn't really particularly want to write more Wizard of Oz,
Right?
No,
Yeah,
we didn't
that's
get so
true.
much of it.
That's true. Yeah.
and I think it was kind of the same thing. That, and I think Tolkien wanted to show off his Elvish.
Oh yeah, I mean he's like, I made a language.
I mean, that was his love, right? His language.
yeah, yeah.
with
Well,
He was
I
a
mean,
linguist,
he
so.
did. He did pretty much edit the Oxford Dictionary.
Right.
Yep.
Like he might have a little bit of say in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe something.
Didn't somebody come at him about the word,
Yes.
dwarves?
And they
That is-
tried to say that, because it's like he wrote dwarves, and the guy was arguing that the correct plural is dwarfs.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and Tolkien was like going, "What are you talking about?" And the guy goes, "Well, it's in the Oxford Dictionary." And Tolkien goes, "I wrote the Oxford Dictionary."
Yep.
Womp womp.
And he's using dwarves.
Yep. What is it, kitten? Huh? What is it? You just want to complain? Is that it? Is that your job today? Annoy mommy? Wait, that's your job every day, is it not?
I do appreciate the Hobbit for bringing in more of the dwarven music
Yeah.
because my geek flag is flying proud right now. There's a YouTube channel and I cannot pronounce it. It's like Clavai du Mundi or something, but they do these like full almost orchestral versions of like Misty Mountains and the Song of
Is it
Durin
a
and stuff.
Celtic? It sounds Celtic. The name.
They do a lot of Celtic sounding stuff. That's kind of how I stumbled into them because I listen to a lot of Celtic music.
Mm.
But it's if you get a chance, I'll share the link around at some point to get on with you guys.
Yeah.
It's really just stirring stuff because I really think my favorite part of the whole Hobbit movie is when they break out in Misty Mountains.
Right, yeah.
Like the whole movie,
Right.
that right there, where it's just like,
right. Jose says that he says that that's really the only part that he watches straight through on The Hobbit. The rest of the movie he fast forwards.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Yeah,
so
from the
haunting.
beginning all the way to when they leave, that they sing the song and then they leave next day. That then after that, it's just all fast forward.
You crazy cat! Get out of here! Get shoo! That's my iPad.
That's why I put a screen door into my study. I love my cats, but this could never happen.
I live in a studio apartment.
No, I just taught my cat not to bother me while I'm working.
And how did that work?
It works just fine. Because I don't usually, like right now, he's sleeping and I don't see him until in the afternoon.
Well,
that was the most boss move sounding response. Like that was just the most elegant verbal choke slam I've heard in a while. I just taught my cat.
Yeah,
I
because
still don't believe it.
I can't have them like all, I can't. I am not that person, It's like, look, no, I'm busy. You got to go someplace else. And the funny thing is that if I don't chase him out of the office, Einstein chases him out of the office.
What you have to get is you have to get you a cat that doesn't like affection, like we do. Always,
they
don't really like affection.
Well, but the thing is, though, it's like that seems to be rare because I've never met a cat that didn't want to
We should play the lottery then because we've had several cats that just are like,
like don't bother me.
Yeah, except for Rowan. Yeah, except for my youngest.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Like I've had cats that are real affectionate in the morning. And then the rest of the day, they won't even look at you. Just feed them, let them do. Yeah.
No, Einstein learned a particular noise that immediately chases him out of the office if he gets fed up with him. So it's it's like kind of like this really loud snapping noise, and then he shakes his paper in his cage, and then the cat just leaves. It's like, shoots it right out the door. Yeah, because even Einstein can't handle the cat all the time.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. That's like torture. It's like Sylvester just staring at Tweety.
No, actually, no. It's actually the other way around.
Oh, right.
It's like he just like I don't know. It's just like if he finds something that like creates like a very dramatic response, that's the noise he learns. And he learned that if he made this particular noise, he makes the cat jump.
All right, well now
which works in my favor because then he chases the cat out.
I got done with that faster than I thought it would. Oh. It's funny, even in nature, stereotypes don't. How are we doing here? Oh.
And I'm back. And I bribed the cat.
Bribe the cat, go up a level?
Yeah, that's it. I gave him treats. So he is now suitably distracted for the next minute or so. And I always say on occasion that if you're getting original art from me, there may or may not be a small chance of getting cat fur with it.
Well, hey.
It's kind of like peanut allergies, right?
Yeah.
No, there's some people there. I've seen a lot of people on eBay. They tell you whether it's from a smoke free or cat free home if you buy an item from them. You know, I guess if you're that allergic. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. Kind of like, you see on certain products made in the same factory as processing peanuts or
Right. Yeah. The cross contamination.
yeah.
Yep, that is a thing.
Oh, in the comments, Joe's talking about, I need to stop watching these shows. No, you don't. You should watch these shows, share them, and like them.
Right.
I keep seeing. I see. What?
Aren't they working along with us? I mean,
No. What it is he says I keep seeing these great pieces of line art and thinking that would look great burnt on wood, which it would. Then I smack myself in the head and go, "You don't want to deal with all those fine lines."
right.
And I'm sorry. Nut up or shut up, Joe. I love you, but come on, bud. You can do it. I've seen you do it.
I used to do a lot of that when I was younger because it's like what was it called? Pyrography?
Pyrography? Yeah.
Or something.
That's as close as my speech impediment will let me answer.
Right.
that sounds legit. Yep.
There we go.
I have to McFarlane the crap out of this cape.
That is a wonderful verb.
Mm-hmm. But I was really thinking about doing it like McFarlane, though. I'd have to fold it like paper. This cloth always folds like paper.
I
think I might have screwed up the anatomy on that. Yeah, whatever. I'm not fixing it.
I'll tell you one thing that gives me problems is hair.
Yeah, I just make crazy lines and say, "Hey, it's hair."
Well, there's a way to do hair.
Oh yeah, there's.
That's layered, like in kind of in a solid layer type way, and I haven't really learned how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit, when my manga-esque style, when I'm going to do hair, it pretty much that's one of the places I really gravitate towards the manga style hair. So.
Yeah, I have. I was downloading hair charts from barbershops the other day.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's a cool idea.
That's like hair salons and barbershops because because it's like not only that do they show the shape of the face, like they're also a good chart is like best hairstyle for based on face shape. Because then you get like technically two charts in one where you get different types of face shapes so that you're not drawing the same face all the time. And then you get all the hairstyles that go with those.
Hey, there you go.
I think I know what type of my next Pinterest board is going to be.
What?
Yeah, the
face shape and hair charts. So
yeah, no, I was looking for that. Oh, hey, Chad.
Oh God, it's Chad.
Hey, Chad.
Hi, Chad.
It's that guy who likes to dress up as a pickle. That still scares the shit out of me.
Oh no, that was the best pickle.
No comment.
I used to have a collection of the salon books that were retired.
Oh yeah, those are good too.
It was part of my lovely stuff that I kept very safe at my parents' house, and then they had a chimney fire, and it just took out all my safe stuff.
Oh no!
Like,
that's high on the suck.
Oh yeah, but my problem was they were all from like the 70s and like early 80s, so the hair references were very
of the time.
Yeah. It's like some of the women's hair was pretty good if you have enough, Aquanet in your pen, but
well, of course, yes. but the ozone layer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
to
The
stop
ozone layer has
using
some things to say about
Aquanet
it.
because of the ozone layer.
but no, I found those to be really helpful. And another good reference you can get for just like costuming, especially now, Joanne Fabrics is closing down, which is tragic.
It
Oh,
is. It
really?
is. Yeah,
But
because
that means that you can get the Simplicity catalog books, which are the pattern catalog books.
oh yeah, those are good.
So
Yeah.
if you need a quick reference of, I want to look up a princess or a costume or something, and you don't want to be navigating, Google because
Right.
So you're
I,
gonna get some interesting things when you put in princess designs.
this is true too. Although, good thing is, what was it? There's a is it? I think it's in quotation marks. If you put before 2023,
Yes, that it's
Ah.
well, it's before colon 2023 or whatever year. Usually
Right.
I put in 2021 just to be safe, but it really cleans up the timeline.
Oh, good.
Right.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, no, I was surprised at how well it works.
It's the whole AI purple. What I forgot to do. Reference only editing layer. Now I won't have pain in the butt. Okay.
That's why I've been spending like hundreds of dollars on art books now.
Oh yeah.
Just to have them back in rotation.
I spent money on art books too, not looking around nefarious sites. I would never do that.
Right.
That's fair. That's good of you. Oh wait, you weren't serious.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry. I'll be looking at the computer and suddenly one of my eyes will start to close, so I have to throw a patch over it, and the R key sticks.
Oh, right, yeah. My favorite books are the ones that begin with the letter R.
So Mike wants to know, what art books for references do you recommend? I want to get away from Google searches.
Oh, let me show you. Okay,
Yes.
let me show you.
I need Daphne's list written down so I can just throw it on Amazon and keep money because I keep
this one. Hold on, I gotta.
No, I think what you're really trying to say is you need Daphne's list to throw into Pirate Bay, right?
Right. Well,
Yarr! I mean, what? No, I would never.
This is my most recent. This is my most recent acquisition. Right.
Ooh.
So this is
Wow.
Masters of Anatomy, right? So it's
Oh,
anatomy,
fighting
action, and
poses.
fighting poses, right?
That's a good book.
I got this off of Kickstarter. I think that they still have copies available. So if you find Masters of Anatomy on Kickstarter, you might you'll probably be able to get some hard copies. Because outside of Kickstarter, they usually only sell digital versions of the books, which in the end I think is also, I don't like their proprietary e-reader. They don't use a regular PDF reader. They use a proprietary one. It's super annoying, but I found it in the end. I found it very useful, and it's just right, and it's just a collection of just all these poses, all done by professional artists. They have a list of them at the beginning of the book.
Raul Marina, I think, is one of them, who's fantastic.
Yep.
And it's just all these different poses, and what I'll show you in a minute how I was able to use this. So it's just literally a collection of all these poses that you could just mix and match. And there's a second book that I got from Masters of Anatomy that I'm still waiting for them to ship. It's an anatomy book, but they say it's the last anatomy book you ever have to study. It's like that. That book will be the definitive learning for you of how to do anatomy. But this one is all like these poses, right? So let me show you like how I use this. Hold on, let me save my file here. I'm doing all this work and I forgot to save.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
for trouble.
Right, yeah.
That's the problem with digital.
Right, yeah. So what I did, right? So I had to choreograph a fight scene in the latest issue of Eagle Raven. So instead of just like sitting down and trying to like rack my brain a little too hard about it, I went through the book and I began collaging the images together, the poses in the book together,
Oh, that's cool.
until they created a sequence that made sense to me.
Yeah, I like that.
So so this is all like different poses that I just, you know, like kind of like match together how I need. Like I have an idea already as to what I wanted the scene, but instead of like just drawing it out from scratch, it's like I took the poses and then I was just like, okay, well maybe it looks better like this or it looks better like that, so I'm able to like move them around if I have to kind of like get a sense of it, you know. And then it's like, yeah, and then what I do afterwards is, you know, I just then sketch my own characters on top of it. Now, of course, because of the style that's being used here, the final result is not going to look anything like this because I draw differently than what the reference is.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's always, you know, you're adjusting. Okay, like this is a page that I'm currently working on. So I had the poses underneath it. Oh, unfortunately I deleted that layer, so I can't show you how it looked before. So I had the pose underneath it and then I just drew the characters on top of it. So I have two more that I have to do the same thing to. And then, you know, that's it. But then it's like, at least I don't have to think about the reference. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't have to worry about decision fatigue. So this was a much easier way, because of this book, of putting this scene together than if I had to do it from scratch. So so Masters of Anatomy, I highly recommend this book because it takes a lot of, like I said, a lot of decision making out of the process. And also I think it just makes it easier to visualize what you're looking for if you could just see it.
No.
You know?
You
Also
think you're about to do?
another
breakfast?
book.
Go get some breakfast.
Yeah, another book that I would recommend as well is Dynamic Figure Drawing. Hold on, let me just change this. Dynamic Figure Drawing by Bern Hogarth.
Oh, I have that book. Actually,
yeah,
I have all of his books.
Right, yeah. So it's more classical anatomy. I think like so he did a lot of comic strips like Tarzan, I think, in the past. So so I think like this book, this is like literally the original version. This and the Masters of Anatomy book, I think that's a really good starting point.
Yeah.
And then of course you have the quintessential, right? How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, right? The quintessential. Who doesn't? If you pretty much, this is the book that, you know, if you're doing comics, you have this already, and if you don't and you want to do comics, you should have it anyway.
Why don't you?
Yeah, why don't you? Well, it's like, you know what? You just haven't gotten it yet. That's all.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Also, another two books that I like using a lot, again, kind of like a little old school, but is Jack Ham Drawing the Head and Figure and How to Draw Animals. It's like, I think that these are like two really good reference. I mean, there's a lot of theory in this, but I think it's like the principles are always the same, no matter what no matter what time, what year the book is from, and of course you have kind of like,
You have the Bridgman guide.
well, I
Oh,
used to
okay.
have those. I think I had to get rid of them because of the a mouse problem that I had, because I don't have those
Ah.
anymore. So then you have Andrew Loomis.
Yeah, the Loomis
Um,
method's great.
yeah, what I really like is there's actually like little shortcuts that he uses that I use, and it's like, oh my god, why didn't I figure this out? It's like, especially there's some perspective tricks that he does that's pretty useful. So definitely, again, it's like the artwork is dated, but the information is not. So
And like, there's so many artists who definitely have used Loomis
Right.
to get to where they are. I mean, you look at
Yeah.
like Mark Silvestri, and it's
Mhm.
like he's a Loomis guy.
right,
He's also Bridgman, but his foundation definitely looks much more
right.
Loomis.
Well, and then this one, this one C will appreciate. This one C will appreciate definitely.
Oh, of course. Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
this is the
Oh, how to
Everton
think when you draw.
Brothers. I have, yes, also from Kickstarter. How to, oh, there goes my guide there. How to think when you draw. And what I really like, especially about these books, you can find these on not Amazon, on Kickstarter. It's the only way you can get these books is through Kickstarter. They run a Kickstarter, like I think like every 6 months, and they're always offering. What
Yeah, it's
happened?
usually about March,
Yeah.
April, May, because every time something comes up at that point.
Yeah, because I
They
just
just
recently
ran
got
one. Yeah.
volume 7.
Yeah.
So how to think when you draw, and what I really like about them is their specificity. Like if you really need to draw something specific, like it's like, say you needed to draw clouds, you just needed instructions on clouds, or or like, oh, whirlpools. There you go. It's like maybe you need to put a whirlpool someplace, and it's like, it's very like they had a section just on like drawing pirate ships that I could have used years ago. So,
Oh, right. Yeah. I
um
know, right.
so
And I
yeah,
always-
so how so this is the Etherton Brothers, how to think when you draw. Like I said, this one you have to get on Kickstarter.
However,
What happened?
those are free online
Right.
at their blog posts, their black spots.
Oh, that's true. They do offer up all
Yeah.
their tutorials for free.
Yeah, so so you don't, because I, like, for instance, this last one, I only have 4 of them,
Right.
and I missed out on 5 and 6, so I was going
Mhm.
to try to do a catch up, but they didn't offer. They offered 5 with something else, and
Right.
they didn't offer them as an add-on, and I was like, well, I'd have to skip 5 and get 6 and 7, and it gets pretty
Right.
pricey after that
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're expensive.
because it is from England. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's the link in the chat.
Yep.
And of course, I think if you're especially going to do comics, I think that the most important, the last book that you should get for your collection is Comic Book Lettering by Nate Pecos. He's the
yes.
founder
Oh,
of
absolutely.
Lambot. And look, you can have the most beautiful drawings, but if I can't read it or your lettering is that horrible,
it's horrible. Yeah.
nothing kills my interest in a book more than horrible lettering.
Yep.
So I mean, this guy pretty much set the standard for comic book lettering, and just
Him and
the so just the
Richard
guy.
Comic
You know,
Craft.
So as a guy,
Oh,
right? It's like you need this book in your collection. I mean, I'm still referring to it every time. Every time
Yeah,
I'm working.
I reference it all the time with lettering, and I enjoy lettering. So.
Right. Yeah. I enjoy lettering too. It's very relaxing for me.
That's exactly how I feel.
Uh-huh.
I'm weird that way, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I would like to. Yeah, that's something that I'd like to take on and learn how to do, is lettering, because there's not many people offering lettering out there.
I offer lettering. Nobody ever takes me up on it.
Huh.
Actually, I did letter one book for an anthology. So
There was okay, let me keep that separate. So there was this discussion. I guess there was a discussion about how the lettering in Clip Studio Paint is actually not that good.
no, it's not.
You know, and some people were complaining about that. That I guess it doesn't do certain things that I guess like people would like to be able to do for the lettering.
Mhm.
Right. And what I didn't appreciate that someone had said, that someone was said, it's like, you know what? People don't care anyway about the lettering. Just use what you got and call it a day.
That is
Oh,
so
yes.
true.
Right.
So bullshit.
I have stopped reading stuff
and-
because
and-
of the lettering.
Yeah. And and the thing is, though, it's like aside from like pretty much the entire sentiment of that phrase, rubbing me the wrong way. I mean, it's like, look, just because people are, especially with the whole AI thing, it's like just because the average person likes the taste of shit doesn't mean that I want to cook it.
Yep, yeah, that makes sense to me.
You
That's
know,
well spoken.
I mean, it's like, look, my whole point is that I'm going to I want to create the best possible stuff I can. And that includes the lettering. And I'm not going to skimp because the average person can't tell the difference.
Yeah, no.
You
No,
know,
the average person I think they may not be able to verbalize the difference.
right.
They can
but
probably tell
they
the
can
difference.
tell. They may not. That's something people get confused. People will know this is good art. There's something wrong with this. I don't like it.
Right.
I want to interject briefly a negative book because I
a
was
negative
excited.
book.
I was excited to get a hold of the Comics Craft Guide to Lettering.
Oh,
and I
okay.
have it
Starking,
somewhere,
right?
But I went to open it and I could not read it because the lettering was so varied and bad, and the font was so I physically could not read that. And I think it was something like the Comic Craft Guide to Lettering. It was like beautiful in that it was collaged, and there were some great illustrations of this hippo detective guy.
Oh, I know exactly the book you're talking about.
I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this and I'm like, I physically could not read, stomach reading the book. I'm like, no.
I know exactly which book you're talking about, and I know exactly what you're talking about, because when I first saw it, like when they were first announcing the book, I remember seeing that and immediately going, I can't read that.
Yeah,
that's why I never bought it.
Yep. I had the same,
it's like they got so wrapped up in the flashy graphic design, they completely destroyed their ability to teach people how to do lettering correctly.
Completely agree.
I remember that. But then again, it's like, weren't these the guys that I think that I remember like they started around like later after the original Image, and it's all flash over substance, and I guess it just continues, that idea continues to this day.
Yeah. They have very expensive
their fonts are really expensive.
Yeah.
Over there. And I think they're like, oh, we save up money to buy the lettering
the hand lettering of certain stuff.
After the first year they have like a discount or something. And the thing about it is, it's like, but Blambot sells you that.
That's the normal price.
Gives you too, for that matter.
Yeah, because I mean, like, even Blambot's most expensive font, I think maybe is like $30.
It's 30, maybe 40 at one point. 40, Mike, we were actually talking about Nate Pico's book on lettering. Daphne showed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just so it's like because that's where I was collecting his instructions first was from his website, and
Yeah.
then just the fact that he put it together in a book is so the fact that he actually also gives his instructions for free.
Yeah.
If you really wanted it,
Yeah,
I mean, I have printouts. I was
Oh,
collecting
yeah.
printouts before the book came out.
It's one of those ones that you had to buy right away.
Right.
When it come out, regardless.
Well, technically, it was Jose that bought it, and I'm the one that has it.
And you liberated it for the greater
Yeah.
good of you.
Yes,
I know that. I bought it too. I don't have it.
Uh-huh.
So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
It's-
Your daughter has it.
No, my wife has it.
Oh, your wife has it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
no,
I
I use that. I use that book a lot when I'm referencing how to letter. And I mean, I've gotten to do certain types of things in Clip Studio Paint with kind of manipulating this program to do what I want it to do.
Uh-huh.
And so you can do it. It's just it's a little bit easier in some ways if you're going to do like some complex special effects to either do them by hand or do them in Illustrator. I mean,
didn't Clip Studio just like update some stuff to do with lettering?
yeah, you can now do it on a curve. But like one of the things you can't do is like have all the letters individual, like right from the start to click them and then manipulate them, which you can do in Illustrator.
Right.
Well, actually, though,
Boom.
but all you have to do there though is you just rasterize the layer. Then you would take it, you use your lasso tool, use that, and then use free transform, and you can manipulate the letters that way.
Yep, or I could go into Illustrator and just type the letters and then manipulate them.
Right.
But if you're
Yeah,
already on
I
one
was just
program, then
doing
why go
that
to
this
the other
morning.
program?
I was just doing that this morning.
Also, if you
Yeah.
type the letters individually on each different layers, you can then manipulate them and combine them into one layer and keep them all as vector. So that's another way I've gotten around it.
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
But in comparison, it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, I did traditional lettering right on this. I just wrote on the page.
Right, yeah.
We talked about
What's up,
lettering
Glenn?
enough that Glenn showed up.
Oh, there you
Whoa.
go. Hello, Glenn.
I literally was about to ask if anyone uses, a traditional Ames lettering guide.
Wow, I haven't used one since school, and that's been a while. I'm not doing the math.
Traditional Ames lettering guide, huh?
Yeah.
That is it really is spooky, Glenn, because I just got for my little art desk. Hold on.
My Ames lettering guide.
My background
Oh, there
started
you go.
with mechanical drafting.
Oh, I remember those. I had like a whole I was like, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like whenever I get flustered with the computing stuff, or I'm like art block hits too hard, I go back to the old tools and just see if that's gonna clarify the mind a little
Right.
bit.
Yep,
Wait,
and this is my Kubert school one.
Oh,
Oh,
there you
okay.
go. Uh-huh. No. That's also interesting that you say that, Nick, about like going traditional to kind of clear the head, because that's kind of like literally what it does. Like where working digitally gives you so many options to the point that there is no way that you can know everything all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The going traditionally does the opposite effect, where it's so limited, it refocuses how you think about what you're doing. Like it's almost like having limited options actually helps you make better decisions about what you're doing.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny because we all talk Clip Studio Paint and stuff. I still on all my boxes have Paint Shop Pro, not Paint Shop Pro. Most of them have Paint Shop Pro tucked away like 3 because that's what I first started on. But Paint.net has a downloadable version that's like $12. And if you want to learn the absolute basics of digital art, but you don't want you look at the screen for Photoshop or something.
Right.
If that's too much, I found that paint.net, which you can use for free in your browser, but I'm a download guy,
Right.
is really good for just getting the basics of this is how a layer works. This is how, this you can color with a multiply layer and it won't screw up your lines. Like, these little things that so many of us take for granted that, are mind blowing when you haven't had access to them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
I used to use Sketchbook Pro.
Sketchbook Pro's good.
I used to love that program.
And that's good for continuity between devices.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite for my device for Android is a thing called Infinite Painter, which it does not have any text function, which is the downside of it. It's like the only downside. But it's such a smooth, easy to navigate system. And, that's why so much of my art, it drives people nuts. They'll see, you have all these fancy things and they see me with like my phone and then this is my custom stylus. It was given to me by Katz Milonic. They're an accounting firm.
Oh.
And it's, tied to my phone. So I'll sit here. Because I was talking about the Goblin Hunch, so I do the digital version sometimes because, my body's, I know what this means. My spine isn't compressed. How am I supposed to art if my spine isn't compressed?
Right. Yes, it's like it's easier. Yeah, it's easier to draw when your spine's not compressed. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, they say that.
Glenn says Daphne is correct. So-called traditional teaches you discipline.
Yes,
learning
it does.
At least by the second time. All that undoing. Do it right.
No, I've told this story so many times. There's this woman that I follow on Twitter where she's a teacher at college level. And the first thing she does is that she says all these kids come in and all they know how to do is draw on iPads. And the first thing she does is that she tells everybody to get a sketchbook and a pencil. And she says the amount of time students have run out of her classroom crying because they can't undo.
Really?
It's like she's going like these kids. These are college. This is a college.
Yeah.
And these kids cannot function without the iPad. They cannot draw. Literally, she had students say, I cannot draw without the iPad. And it's like, you can draw on a sketchbook, Like her whole thing is teaching everybody to go straight to traditional media. But I mean...
Well, that's what I will have to brag here for a second about.
Oh, hey, John. John Celestри's in the chat. Hello. Yeah, he goes, Clip Studio Paint is basically how 2D traditional animation works. I draw pencil on paper and scan it. Yeah, we were talking about that.
That's literally what I'm doing with this.
Yeah. It's like, there's but also the thing is too, like even like the benefit of just sketching it is that, when I'm sketching in a sketchbook, I find myself, or at least I force myself to be less fussy. Like if it's not right, it's not right. I'm not going to worry about it. It's like, we'll fix it on the next piece, on the next sketch, and just kind of like create that muscle memory rather than, because constant undos, you don't get a muscle memory,
Also, it's like you can noodle forever with digital art.
That's a danger. It's like you have to learn when there's no such thing as perfect, but you have to learn when it's good enough, right? Or else you're just going to drive yourself crazy.
You got to know when to kill your kids.
Yeah, pretty much. You have to do a Medea on them.
Yep.
That is a very metal way to say delete your art. I mean, wow.
Yep.
Right. Glenn says it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It's like, look, I'll put dollars to dimes that Michelangelo did the Pietà. He's like, oh man, I could have done that different.
He's
Oh,
hanging
yeah.
upside down, doing the Sistine
You know,
Chapel,
I
having all the
could,
paint fall
I
into his
bet
mouth.
you, I bet you, I mean, you know, it's like how it's like you upload something and you see all the mistakes,
Oh,
right?
yeah. How is it that you see it like you walk away from it for a half hour and suddenly something you thought that was good? Well, now that sucks.
Well, that's just the brain resetting.
And I,
Because
I
you know how it's like they keep saying that you're supposed to flip your canvas,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Because it's like it resets your brain to look at, because it's looking at it, right? Like right now, I'm looking at this, I'm straight on looking at it, but I'm actually seeing it on the screen. It's because so I don't need to flip my canvas, because just by looking at it on my monitor as opposed to directly on the Wacom, it does the same thing. It's like, oh, you're looking at it in a different place. So my brain resets. So I'm more likely to find a mistake looking at it on my monitor than I am directly on the Cintiq I'm working on.
Oh, yeah.
See, the thing is, they tell you to do that a lot with painting. When you're coloring something, that you need to spend every maybe 5 minutes, and that might be too much, to look away from what you're painting, because otherwise your eyes adjust in a certain way that they get used to that color, and you're not seeing it the way that you think it's how it's really coming out.
I mean, with color, that would really make sense.
But we are at that time, so we're going to go around the room and everybody.
It's that time of the
tell us where
year
we can
again.
find you.
Wow.
Time
Hi.
flies.
Okay, I didn't expect to go first. I'm Nick Tockert. You can find my stuff. Actually, the best place is indcd.org/about-Nicholas-Tockert, because that'll give you all the links to all my books and all the channels I run. And I'm just too far spread to throw it on right here. But yeah, that's how to get a hold of me. indcd.org/about-Nicholas-Tockert. And I host on Nicholas Tockert, at Nicholas Tockert, the YouTube channel. Never Mind the Furthermore, which is a artist, author, creative support show that runs 10 a.m. affectionately. I hope to 11. Usually goes a lot longer on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then on my other network, the Historical Fencing Guild, on Friday nights, I do a live stream talking about sword fighting and gear and how to get into it. So that's about where you can find me.
Very cool.
Right. Allison.
Oh god, you're up on me now. Oh god. Well, I'm here part of the Indie Comics Network. On Fridays, I have my show Arting with the Alley Cat. I have a link tree probably down in the doobly-doo stuff below. And you can find me pretty much anywhere. And next week on May the 4th, I will be doing a Star Wars stream on the Indie Comics Network and drawing something Star Wars related. Probably on Friday too. But last time I did the 4th and the 5th because I had to get Revenge of the 5th in there, but this year I won't be able to do it because I run D&D for kids on Sundays, and they get annoyed when I don't show up and run D&D.
Yeah. All right, Daphne.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, I put a link in the chat, and it's a direct link to Nicholas's book Haints and Hellfire. While I was on vacation, I had the pleasure of reading it, and I had such a good time with it. It's such a really good book. If you like Buffy meets Stephen King, so go pick up Nicholas's book. So I put a link to that in the chat. But if you want to check out all my work, you can check out my main portfolio site at egoworks.com. That's EGOWORKS. But I mostly hang out on Facebook. If you want to see all my latest work and works in progress, like once I finish this piece here, that's going to probably end up on Facebook first before anywhere else. So you can, pretty much you can find everything on EagleWorks. You can read Eagle Raven for free there. And or if you want a more furry fantasy adventure type Lord of the Rings type of thing, head on over to Tall Tales. That's TAILS online.com. And you can read Tall Tales there for free as well. And also just to remind everybody that my Tall Tales campaign is still live on Kickstarter. We have less than 2 weeks to go on it. Thank you everybody who supported the campaign. And yeah, the link is in the chat and in the show notes below. So yeah.
All right. And just to let you know, next week we will not be having Sketchy Saturday because of certain things, conventions and all that other, and it's free comic book day. So, make sure you visit your local comic book store, whatever, and all that, and blah, blah, blah. Also, let's see. Daphne and I will be on JD Cloud's show tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Good thing you reminded me. Yes, I forgot.
We, however, on Sketchy Saturday will not be returning until May 10th at our new time at 12 p.m. Eastern. Ooh. That way we want to try to make sure that we get some people on from the Pacific Coast too.
Oh, right.
And you can find me always at landingart.com. That's LANNING art.com. Tonight on Art Style Kamikaze, we'll be looking at pictures and shadows. And that's about it. Of course, Sunday Funnies tomorrow with Randy. We pre-recorded the show, so I'm actually on there too. So, yeah.
I'm not on there tomorrow because I was in the hospital getting infused.
Oh, well. Fun times.
Well, not really.